First ever undergraduate research symposium of the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities of General Sir John Kothalavala Defence University.
Special announcement before today's proceedings. We are deeply saddened by the demise of Mr. Mangala Vijayasinghe, Dean, Faculty of Law, a dedicated academic who worked tirelessly for the betterment of KDU. We also take this moment to note that this event could not be postponed at short notice as external parties are also involved in this endeavor. However, as a mark of respect, it was decided to cancel the entertainment items and hold the event with only the essential academic components.
Neil Armstrong once stated, I quote, "Research is creating new knowledge," I unquote.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to unfold the first ever research symposium by the faculty, Vista 2025, a vision for innovation in societal and theoretical advancement is about to entice your thoughts and future paths. I am Senan Saranguheva, your host for today.
And I am Dehami Pereira, your co-host, taking you through this prestigious event, a platform for insightful intellectual discussions, academic excellence, and groundbreaking research with the theme of Enabling Digitalized Economies and Societies Through Novel Sustainable Strategies.
Witnessing the innovation in society and organizations.
Indeed, as the agenda unfolds, we will hear much more about the innovative digital economical alignment towards the principles of sustainability in the society and organizations underpinned by theoretical advancements.
Siya Ratatamai Kavadat.
For the motherland forever. It is what we at KDU believe in.
In order to pay respect to our beloved university, I invite you all to rise for the KDU anthem. Please remain standing. They for their country die shall fill an honored grave.
For glory lights the soldier's tomb, and beauty weeps the brave. As a mark of deep respect and gratitude, let us now observe a moment of silence in honor of our fallen war heroes, whose courage and valor continue to inspire us.
Thank you. Please take your seats. Light is a universal symbol of wisdom, knowledge, and prosperity. Lighting a lamp before a ceremony brings forth divine grace. It brightens up, gives hope, and dispels darkness.
Ladies and gentlemen, I respectfully invite the following dignitaries to partake in this auspicious moment of lighting the traditional oil lamp. Chief guest, Rear Admiral H.G.U. Dhammika Kumara, the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kotalawala Defence University.
Keynote speaker, Professor Janaka Ekanayaka, the Chair Professor of Electrical and Electronic Engineering at University of Peradeniya and Chairman of the Expert Committee on Renewable Energy.
Professor K.A. Sanat Dhammika, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics.
Colonel Ramidu Hasanta, Dean, Faculty of Defence and Strategic Studies.
Dr. Lakshika Liyanage, Dean, Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities.
Plenary Speaker, Professor Prasad Setunga.
Dr. Dinesha Pereira, Symposium Chair, Vista 2025.
Deputy Registrar, Commander RORB Senaratna.
Dr. Upali Rajapaksha, Head of the Department, Department of Management and Finance.
Dr. Thamaraja Sundara, Head of the Department, Department of Social Sciences.
Dr. Tilini Vijayatunga, Head of the Department, Department of Languages.
Senior Assistant Registrar, Ms. Gayanika Silva.
And 2 students from Intake 40 from the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities.
We hope this lamp lit before us will add prosperity and success for Vista 2025. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
To officially welcome you all to this remarkable symposium, let me now invite Dr. Lakshika Liyanage, Dean, Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, to deliver the welcome address.
A very good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you to Vista 2025, the first undergraduate research symposium of the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities. Let me begin on a somber note. As announced before, we are deeply saddened by the sudden demise of a fellow Dean, Faculty of Law, Mr. Mangala Vijayasinghe, just 2 days ago. So please join me in extending our heartfelt sympathies to the bereaved family and colleagues. Despite the difficult circumstances, we decided to move forward with this event, primarily due to the unavoidable scheduling challenges posed by the presence of external invitees and the end of the academic semester for the authors and the presenters, their upcoming study leave, and the final examinations of the semester, which are to commence in the end of the first week of May, followed by their 6 months internship. So with that note, today marks an important milestone for our faculty as we very proudly unveil VISTA, that is Vision for Innovation in Societal and Theoretical Advancements, a symposium created to celebrate the intellectual journey of our undergraduate students. And this year, the papers will be presented by Intake 40 students, our third years, who have already completed their research component in November 2024. So this platform offers them not only their first hands-on experience in presenting research at a formal academic forum, but also an opportunity to engage in meaningful academic discussions. The theme for VISTA 2025 is both timely and thought-provoking, enabling digitalized economies and societies through novel sustainable strategies. As we navigate a rapidly evolving digital world, the intersection of digitalization and sustainability is where the future of our economies and our societies lies. I believe that we must embrace innovation while safeguarding long-term well-being, equity, and also resilience. So this symposium serves as a critical space to explore new ideas, challenge traditional thinking, and identify practical strategies that can help address complex economic and social challenges, especially within the Sri Lankan context. I extend my warmest welcome to our chief guest, our Vice Chancellor, Rear Admiral H.D. Dhammika Kumara, VSV, USP, PSc, and Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, Senior Professor K.S. Dhammika. Vice Chancellor Sir and Deputy Vice Chancellor Sir, your continuous support and encouragement in creating a research culture at KDU is highly appreciated, and that is why we were motivated to organize this symposium for our undergraduate students. Let me warmly welcome our keynote speaker, Professor Janaka Ekanayaka, Senior Professor and Chair of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, University of Peradeniya, whose depth of expertise and academic leadership promises to enrich today's dialogue. And I'm sure his speech will inspire our young researchers. And we are very privileged to have him here with us today, despite all his busy schedules, traveling from Peradeniya early in the morning and be here on time. Thank you very much, Professor. And I also extend a very warm welcome to our plenary chair, Professor Anoma Aberatna, Senior Professor Anoma Aberatna, Senior Professor in Economics, Department of Social Sciences, KDU, and all our distinguished plenary speakers, Professor Prasad Setunga, Associate Professor, Department of Education, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya, and Professor Rohan Samarajiva, Chair of Learn Asia, ICT and Infrastructure, Policy and Regulation, and Dr. Chatura Rajapaksha and Dr. Dilani Wikramarachi, both senior lecturers from the Department of Industrial Management, University of Kelaniya. And let me warmly welcome all the deans who are presented here, all the directors, senior professors, the deputy registrars, all the professors, all the faculty members, academics, non-academic staff members, and all the other senior and the other military officers, all the authors and the presenters, all my students who are gathered here, and all the participants. On behalf of the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, let me warmly welcome you to our first undergraduate research symposium. As a brief note to the presenters before I wind up, your extended abstracts that you sent to us were blind reviewed, and you have worked very hard to refine your work based on the feedback that you have received. This rigorous process has not only raised the academic quality of your work, but also helped you to grow as researchers. We hope that this will foster a research culture among all our students and encourage future contributions to academic and policy discourse. And let me extend a heartfelt thanks to the symposium chair, Dr. Dinesha Pereira, and all the three heads of departments, Dr. Thamara Vijayasundara, Dr. Upali Rajapaksha, and Dr. Tilini Vijayatunga from the three departments, and all the reviewers, the academic staff members, all the other members from the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, and all the technical support and all the administration support given to us by various parties are warmly remembered here with a sense of gratitude. And let me also thank all the students who sent their papers and who joined with us here today to listen to these dialogues and also to present your papers. Thank you very much. So in conclusion, let us celebrate this day as a moment of growth, innovation and collaboration. And may this symposium ignite ideas that go beyond these walls and contribute to building digitally empowered, as our theme says, a digitally empowered, sustainably driven Sri Lanka. I wish all participants, the presenters, the organizers, a fruitful and impactful symposium. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, for your insightful words. He is the guiding force behind the successful journey of KDU, and his inspirational leadership is a strong motivation to all of us. Let me now take this honor to invite with respect the Chief Guest, Rear Admiral HGU Dhammika Kumara, VSV, USP, PSC, the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kotalavala Defence University to address the gathering.
If we knew what it was we're doing, it would not be called research, would it? This is the words of Albert Einstein, a simple line, yet a profoundly meaningful. This quote sets the tone for why we are gathered here today. Research, at its core, is an act of bold curiosity. It is not about having answers. It is about having the courage to ask the difficult questions. It is the willingness to explore the unknown and to embrace complexity with the hope of contributing something valuable to the world. Keynote speaker, Professor Janaka Ekanayaka, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, all plenary speakers present here today, deans of the faculties, directors, head of departments, senior military officers, academic and non-academic staff, distinguished invitees, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. It gives me a great pleasure and honor to stand before you today at this inauguration of Vista 2025, Vision for Innovation and Societal and Theoretical Advancement, a remarkable initiative by the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities. As the Vice Chancellor, and more importantly, as someone who deeply believes in the power of knowledge to transform societies, I am honored to serve as the chief guest of this prestigious symposium. Today marks not just an academic gathering, but a celebration of intellectual curiosity, of critical thinking, and of the courage of question, to challenge, and to innovate. It is heartening to witness the students of Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities step forward with the fruits of their rigorous research, ready to share their insights and ideas with us. In the era defined by rapid technological evolution, shifting social dynamics, and global uncertainty, the role of research in the humanities, social sciences, and management become more crucial than ever. These disciplines help us understand how we live, why we behave the way we do, and how we can shape a more inclusive, sustainable, and equitable future. Ladies and gentlemen, Vista 2025 encapsulates a vision, one that sees beyond the horizon into the possibilities that merge when theory meets real-world relevance. It is a platform where knowledge is not only generated but also applied, where the boundaries of disciplinaries flow in pursuit of common good, and where students' voice rise not as echoes of the past but as the architects of the tomorrow. To my dear students, your commitment to this endeavor, your curiosity and your courage to explore uncharted paths are truly commendable. Let this be a beginning, not an end. Let your findings today be the seeds of tomorrow's innovations, policies, and practices. I would also like to acknowledge the Dean, Faculty of Management, Social Sciences, and Humanities, Organizing Committee of Vista 2025, faculty and mentors who have guided these young researchers. Your role in nurturing critical thoughts and academic integrity is invaluable. Education is not merely the transmission of knowledge. It is the ignition of passion, and you have clearly succeeded in that notable task. As we move forward in this symposium, let us remember that innovation does not always require grand inventions. It often begins with a new perspective, a deeper question, and a better way of understanding. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let this symposium be a beginning, not an end, of a journey that values contributions over competition, purpose over prestige, and learning over compulsory. Let your ideas grow, your network expand, and you see your sense of responsibility deepen. In conclusion, once again, I commend the organizers, faculty mentors, and all participating students for making this event a resounding success. May your passion for learning continue to illuminate not just your future, but the future of our nation. Let Vista 2025 be that beacon of vision, of innovation, and of commitment to societal and theoretical advancement. Thank you, and may your ideas light the way ahead, and have a fruitful day ahead. Thank you.
Sir, please remain on stage. Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and for gracing this occasion with your presence. Today, we take another step in academic excellence as we officially launch the Proceedings book of Vista Symposium 2025, a compilation of groundbreaking research and scholarly work shifting the landscape in innovative research paradigm.
We now invite the Dean, Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, Dr. Lakshika Liyanage, and Symposium Chair, Dr. Dinesha Pereira, to join the Vice Chancellor in unveiling this prestigious publication.
This publication comprises of the research and scholarly work of students from Intake 40 from the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, and it is now available on KDU website and accessible through the QR code displayed on the wide screen.
Now, the token of appreciation will be handed over to the Vice Chancellor by the Dean, Dr. Lakshika Liyanage. We would also like to invite Ms. Amandi Kulatilaka, whose portrait is given as a token of appreciation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Now I would like to invite Dr. Thamara Jayasundara, Head of the Department of Social Sciences, to provide a brief introduction about our keynote speaker, Professor Janaka Ekanayaka.
Good morning, everyone. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our distinguished keynote speaker for today. We are honored to have with us Professor Janaka Bandara Ekanayaka, who is a true leader in the field of electrical and electronic engineering. Professor Ekanayaka is the senior professor and the chair of the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering at the University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka. He also holds prestigious roles as a visiting professor at Cardiff University in the UK and an honorary professor at the University of Wollongong in New South Wales, Australia. Professor Ekanayaka has an outstanding academic background. He graduated with first-class honors, receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from the University of Peradeniya, and then went on to complete his PhD from the University of Manchester, Institute of Science and Technology. He is a fellow of the IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, USA, IET, Institution of Engineering and Technology, UK, and the Institute of Engineers, Sri Lanka. And he is also a fellow of the National Academy of Sciences, Sri Lanka, making him the only Sri Lankan to hold fellowships from all three major electrical engineering professional bodies. His numerous accolades also include being recognized as an IEEE Power and Energy Society Distinguished Lecturer, and a recent acknowledgement as one of the top 2% of scientists globally, according to the Stanford University database. In addition to his academic achievements, Professor Ekanayaka has contributed significantly to the energy sector, serving in key roles such as the Deputy Chairman of the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka and Chairman of the Expert Committee for Renewable Energy Targets at the Ministry of Power and Energy. His expertise continues to shape the future of energy in Sri Lanka and beyond. We are incredibly fortunate to have someone of his caliber with us. And today, he will be sharing his insights on smart, inclusive, and green strategies for sustainable digital transformation. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor Janaka Bandara Ekanayaka. Sir, the stage is yours.
Chancellor, the distinguished invitees, the members of the academic community in KDU, and dear students. So I selected this topic to be in line with the theme of the today's conference. So basically what I'm trying to highlight today, while giving a little introduction, I will try to give you a little insight about what is digital transformation. Then I'll go into the flip side, which is the environmental impact of digital transformation. Because it's very important that we go in line with the environment for whatever the innovations we do. So then I will talk about this concept that I think is very important, smart, inclusive and green framework, which allows us to keep the balance. And I'll give a couple of case studies to highlight my case, and also an initiative that I did in Sri Lanka, and conclude my presentation. So the digital transformation started with digitization. Maybe you were we were one of the very early takers of digital tools. Peradeniya had one of the greatest computers, which is called IBM 1130, which is the only computer that can do kind of big tasks that time. You don't write codes, you punch cards. And then came the very first computer. When I came after my PhD, there was a computer in front of me which had a memory of 256 kilobyte. So you have to work with this computer to do various tasks. Today, of course, kilobytes are no longer recognized, not even in your mobile phone. Yeah? So slowly, when the computer power become higher and higher, we start slowly moving away from our paper-based activities to digital activities. Of course, even though the country is telling that we have to do it everything digitally, but still we use an awful lot of papers. But that's a pathetic situation, because we are not yet willing to take an email message as a formal communication. So that's something that is beyond maybe more cultural thing. Anyway, so that is basically the beginning of the digital age. Moving away from papers or the very cumbersome procedures to more digitized procedures. Then came the digitization. This is, of course, using the digital technology to improve the processes and workflows. Of course, today, if you wanted to get something summarized from a report, you only need 2 clicks. Type it, press the button to ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever the big large language models that is available, and you get the summary within seconds. Now, that is not the case. Of course, remember, these are the ChatGPT is quite mature now. It doesn't provide false information as it used to be. So you can rely on it. Now you have the DeepSeek and all kind of different things. So everything is slowly AI driven. We are moving for innovations that are driven by AI. In fact, at Peradeniya, we recognize this and recently formed a research center. I'm directing that. We called Multidisciplinary AI Research Center, which is basically bringing together all 9 faculties of Peradeniya to AI domain and doing lots of research on related to AI. And of course, third step of this transformation is what we call the digital transformation, which is basically integrating digital technologies for various businesses, societies, industries, and so on and so forth. So that is where we are now. The government has recently appointed a committee for digital transformation headed by one of the Peradeniya alumni from Dialogue, and they are looking at how we can accelerate this digital transformation. So if once we have the digital transformation, it increases the productivity and growth, and enhance service delivery and provide opportunities for inclusive and innovation. While I'm doing this presentation, I must also say that this is like asking Amaradeva to sing a song while keeping his hands tight. I don't do that. I wanted to move in the stage, so that's fine. I'll try this new. Anyway, so this new transformation is driven by data. You have lots and lots of IoT and AI tools which are there to provide the decisions required for the more inclusive societies. So these societies are pretty much interconnected. You are no longer, whether you are in Sri Lanka or in global another place, that doesn't make any difference. It used to be very difficult to communicate with a group. Now I know that, as you heard, that I also teach at Cardiff University. Our group works, usually, especially the student group work, we have members join into the group from US, Texas University, and from Mexico and France. So these are kind of like what they believe is working in as one community. Of course, when you look at the community in UK, it's not English community, but still they believe that the working with the communities outside the UK is very important for people to do these kind of group work while understanding the cultural differences of various groups. So that's one of the key things which enabled by the digital transformation. But there's a flip side. The flip side is you collect lots and lots of data, you need to store the data. And as I said, 256 kilobyte, we were doing lots of things. I could remember that I was even simulating the Sri Lankan power system. It was not as big as today, but still simulating the Sri Lankan power system, and you need to be very careful. If you have a 0 in your matrix, you replace by another element so that you may become your matrix so smaller. So that's how we were working on it. Now today's, especially the younger generation, doesn't have a feeling about memories, because the memory power is that high. You never feel like, I run out of memory. It happens in your smaller devices, but not in your computer. But remember, every single byte you store takes energy. So more bytes you store takes more energy. So this is where we are heading. The environmental footprint, especially of the data centers, are becoming massive. You can see that the amount of power consumed by different data centers, US leading, but only US is shown in different places. The North Virginia has 2,552 megawatt of capacity of data centers. Remember, Sri Lanka's the entire capacity is around 3,500 megawatts. So this is only data centers in Virginia. China, and you can see that their total amount of energy, the capacity required to run these data centers are enormous. So more data you collect to take informed decisions, you are also consuming energy at the other end. So this is why what is the key for the conference theme. I was so glad to see that the conference theme touch upon the digital transformation and sustainability. I'm glad to hear that Roshan Samarjiva will be coming to talk to you. His group, Lean Asia or whatever, they are mainly working on, I met the team recently at Taiwan, they are looking at the sustainability aspect of AI. So that's a very important topic to touch upon. So I'm glad you have picked the best theme for this conference. So the big data centers, we called it hyperscale data centers, they required around 100 megawatt each. So enormous amount of. So this shows the sizes of the data centers in different part of the world, right from 2015 to today, and you can see that the sizes are increasing. You can see the small traditional data centers are slowly phasing out, and the mega scale data centers are coming in. So the global power consumption of data center is they are forecast to be doubled by 2026. So this is a huge problem. Remember, we are trying to go away from coal power. We are trying to go away from diesel power. We are trying to go away from any electrical generation source that has bad impact on our environment. But when the demand is growing in this scale, our sustainable energy sources will not be able to cater for that demand. That is the danger we are heading towards. So the total power consumption of the data centers for 411 terawatt hours, 28 times the Sri Lankan energy consumption during 2023. So the data is a good thing. You can take the informed decisions. But remember, with this globalization, the data is not in one place. Data is all over the world. The cloud computing allows us to keep our data anywhere. But remember, every time you access a data from a data center in US, you are not only consumed energy for keeping that data in US data center, but also to take that energy using through your transmission network to your computer. So every single transaction of data is energy consuming activity. This is what we need to be careful about. That's why I thought that this is just to give you an idea. If you generate that amount of energy from coal only, that will be 1% of our global carbon dioxide emissions. Some examples for you to understand the sizes of this data center. The Google has a data center in Finland, which annually consumes 900 gigawatt hours, 1/3 of Sri Lankan consumption. But you can see that where the energy is going. The IT equipment, which is the essential part of the data center, which is the servers and storage, that is taking majority of the energy, for 50 to 60%. But remember, these devices, every single transistor that are in a chip produce heat, and you need to cool them. Otherwise, you cannot operate them safely. And the cooling, the infrastructure, usually now everybody is trying to use water cooling to make it efficient, but the early ones were air cooled. And the cooling takes around 30 to 40% of the energy. Then, of course, you need to maintain UPSs, because if there is an interruption, power interruption, you are going to lose your data. So you need to keep continuous the supply, electrical supply. So they take around 10 to 15. And of course, there are other ancillary services such as lighting, security, and so on that will take less than 5%. So you can see that all four, Azura data center in Ireland, Facebook data center in US, and the Citadel campus, which seems to be the highest one, 1.5 terawatt hours. So everything is data driven today. Even recently I was in the Oxford Library, and the Oxford Library, the books, most of the books are now taken and keep it in an archive nearby, around 15 kilometers, and everything is now computers. You can access anything from your computer, but you just imagine, and you don't feel like, okay, I went there, to Oxford Library. You would like to see a library with one of those traditional, like this is the library which was burned by Vladimir a long time ago. So that was the library which had history. But library is no longer there, it's all now computers. I mean, there are books, but I mean, most of the books are kept in another archive nearby. So it's all becoming data-centric, but at the same time, every single byte you consume lots of energy. So I thought I will come up with this, the three-pillar framework. In fact, this diagram was generated by ChatGPT with my prompts, so it's not a diagram that I pinched from any other source. So the whole the credit goes to ChatGPT. So what I basically want to talk about is a future where these three pillars are, or these three vectors are equally active: the smart, inclusive, and green. So we are talking about data-driven innovations, energy efficiency, and cybersecurity. At the same time, we need digital access to everybody, no digital divide, and diversity and equity. The sustainable data practices, renewable energy use, and eco-friendly infrastructure. So let me give you a few examples to understand this concept. The very first one is the Indian initiative, Aadhaar and UPI. I may be pronouncing it in a different way. The R must be probably sound very strong in Indian terms, but anyway. So this is the India's digital initiative. UPI stands for Unified Payment Infrastructure. So Aadhaar is basically a digital ID. So it's a 12-digit ID. It has given to around 1.3 billion Indians. It has either iris or fingerprint scanning. So it makes sure that nobody can use your ID as a fraud, for fraud purposes. So the one of the main thing is, these lots of our, what you call it, not some of the new word, whatever, these kind of welfare things, people start cheating because nobody can get the right identity. But in US, in India, they managed to reduce the transfer leakages by $15.2 billion by introducing this digital ID scheme. And that's been used now by the UPI. It's launched in 2016. This is a banking app. So you can do any banking activity through you, because your ID recognizes you. Nobody else can use the banks. Now, this is one of the main problems we are facing. Others are trying to, getting into your accounts and trying to use it. But here they have this Aadhaar, the ID system. And these are very simple mechanism for them to do the transactions, and they grew from 92 million in 2016 to 17 billion into every single SME seems to be using this banking system. They don't go to bank. So you don't need large banking infrastructure. So just to give you an idea, let me play it, hope that it works.
Payments interface is a revolutionary technology framework used for mobile payments in India. It was launched in 2016. Now let's understand how it works. Users create a special ID called UPI ID on one of these applications. Every UPI ID is linked to the user's phone number and bank account. The sign-in flow for a merchant is identical. When transacting, a user looks up another user or merchant to send money through their mobile number or UPI ID. Once the details are in, the transaction takes place. Note here that the money travels on the back end from the sender's bank account to the payment app's current account, and then finally to the bank account of the recipient. Oh, and let me tell you, UPI transactions are free. The ease of setting up and use has been the biggest reason for the adoption of UPI.
Okay, so it's smart. They are using biometric mobile apps to streamline processes and reducing inefficiencies, especially in the welfare distribution systems. They are inclusive because anybody can get into this system. There were around 600 million unbanked Indians. They came into this banking system because it's very easy to set up. And now, of course, you go to any place, they are asking, do you have this? Of course, we don't have that app, so we can't use it. So it's very easy. You don't need any money. And it's green because you don't need this large physical banking infrastructure to, your banks are very small because people don't come to the bank. That happened in many places, but still not in Sri Lanka. So you don't need to one of the key things of the banks. I was a bit amazed when this transformation took place. What they do is in the banks. In these auditoriums, we wanted to keep away from the sunlight so that you get the better picture and all that. But bank, you don't need. But what they do is they put curtains everywhere, stop the sunlight coming in, and then turn on all these lights and the air conditioners. Even that happened to our great Senate when Anoma and we could remember. We had one of the best Senate rooms, which was fully green. No air conditioning, no lighting, nothing. And it was converted to a more sophisticated thing. Now I'm sure we are consuming more energy. So these infrastructures are not really required. So that saves lots of energy. Another applications are, somebody can tell me about the time. There's no time indicator here. So give me a shout whenever I pass the time. The Estonia is considered as the world's most digital society. They have e-IDs, e-residencies, e-voting and e-health. Everything is e. That's what we are heading towards, but we are still very slow. The public services, because everything you can do online, 99% of the public services are available online. That makes a huge difference. You'll probably, every one of us know, maybe not the kids in the back, going to a place and getting things done physically, just kill your time. If you can do it, from your, I still keep in my very old identity card because I don't have time to go and change it, and I'm still looking at, O-level student. But that's because the time that consumes and the amount of paperwork you have to do. If you can do that using an e-source, why not? So that's what is happening there. And the economic impact is because of this efficient, they get lots and lots of this next scheme, which I'm going to describe, e-residency, that allows people to start businesses in Estonia, which, because of this, the public services are very efficient. Anybody from outside can get their paperwork done very quickly and establish a business. Or unlike here, obviously there's no corruption, nothing, because you are not paying anything for this bank. In Sri Lanka, sometimes the time takes, if you don't, pay a little the ransom to these guys. So it's kind of a unnecessary. So these are very important. So the e-residency program has attracted around 100,000 people to create 20,000 plus businesses. Because when everything is straightforward, when everything is there's nobody involved in between. Anybody can set up a business from outside, and you can start, sending money and start their business. So it's all easy. So that is what is important. Now, what is smart about this? Of course, the e-governance there's a data, open source data center called Xroad, and also data exchange platforms to streamline government operations, saving time and resources. It's inclusive because EIDs are available to 98% citizens. 70% uses e-voting. I was reading somewhere the amount of days we will have from 1st May. If you put 2 days leave in between, up to 7th or 8th, you have longer vacation because of the election coming on 6th, and you are supposed to give 2 days leave for people who are coming from distances and all kind of things. So, these are all can be avoided. And the green, because the digital services reduces, remember, people moving also consumes energy. Like somebody goes to voting from Colombo to their hometown means you are burning fuel. Now that can be avoided if you can do it from home. So these are the ways you can digitize while making sure these operations are sustainable. I'll probably skip this. I think that I'm slightly above time. So this is an initiative that I was directly involved. We all know that tea is one of our major exports. But tea industry, even though I was listening to a minister recently, even though ministers talk about increasing the number of hectares we are going to have tea, if you really go and look at the tea plantations, they are deteriorating. There's no question about it. And tea industry is also definitely with this very everyday changing weather patterns, with the climate change, the tea industry is facing, not only tea and any crop in the country, facing lots of challenges. So, and for tea, the quality depends on the soil moisture and the soil temperature. If you don't maintain, I mean that's why the tea is good. That this good tea comes from the high elevated areas, because those temperatures and the moisture levels are very good. I mean, we do have tea in the low-grown areas, but the tea in the high-grown areas are normally considered better. And so this particular initiative, we introduced 3 interventions to tea plantation. One is we put semi-transparent canopies protecting these tea plants, which is very good for the future, because if we have extreme weather conditions, it's very difficult to protect the tea plantation. Also, we put IoT sensors to monitor soil moisture, weather and crop health. And we designed some LED lights to increase the photosynthesis. So I thought that as I was talking, let me listen to this.
Today marks a historic moment for Sri Lanka as we witness the inauguration of the nation's first ever agrivoltaics project in Hantana, Kandy district. This groundbreaking collaboration, led by the Asian Development Bank, is bringing in a new era of sustainable development. To delve deeper into the science behind this revolutionary technology, let's hear from Professor Janaka Ekanayaka from the University of Peradeniya.
It's a basically combination of agriculture and photovoltaics. So we have kind of shortened it to agrovoltaics. It allows us to do plantation underneath the solar panels. Now you have seen similar agrovoltaic plants, but there you don't have direct plantation. Here we have a full solar canopy, but the solar panels used is very different from what we use at home. Now here you can see that there are gaps. Those gaps allows the light to come in. So it will provide the lights required for the plant. At the same time, to support the tree growth, we got some specific lights. These are LED lights which provides blue and red lights. Those are the 2 lights required for the photosynthesis process. And these lights are powered by our own solar panels, so we are not consuming any electricity from the grid. So this is a plant where it will produce adequate income for the farmers, for example, in this case, the tea plantation, by selling electricity to the grid. And also we think that because we are working on a control environment, we can get good quality crop with high yield. So this is the idea behind the entire technology. ADB wanted to give this grant to Sri Lanka to put up a this kind of agrivoltaic plant. There is a battery powered microgrid here. So our idea is, while the Kandy city is getting electricity right through, even during the power cuts, the guys down there, the community down there won't get electricity. But with this plant, they will get continuous supply.
This project is a
So this is an initiative that was a grant claim from Asian Development Bank, and I managed to somehow grab this thanks to my friend. He's a senior director at Asian Development Bank, was Vijay Tunga, and we put up this plant at near Peradeniya. Though I say it's near Peradeniya, to go there you have to climb the Hantana mountain and go other way around if you really wanted to walk, but you can drive there. So this plant is specifically aligned with the theme or the topic that I'm
moment for Sri Lanka as
so this has real-time monitoring. We have cameras, sensors to measure humidity, soil and irradiance. This data is uploaded to a cloud and we monitor them from Peradeniya. So we have cameras to look at plots without solar canopy. There are two types of tea there, that's why the plots. Then there's one without light, only with the solar canopy, and one with light. So we keep on monitoring this plant. Also, this is the camera. We also are developing tools to detect how many the tea shoots are coming out from the plant, and also any diseases that tea is getting. So we are using simple AI techniques to monitor the progress. So this is again you can see that which has lots of digital transformation approaches here, but it's all sustainable. As I'm telling in the video, we don't consume electricity from the grid. It's all coming from our own plant. So it's a plant which has all three components, which has, as I said, smart AI and IoT to optimize the water and fertilizer usage. Remember, without the canopy on very drought times, your water evaporation is very high. And now here we are not using a full canopy. There was a reason for that, but I had to change the design later on. But you can have a full canopy, and we are now looking at full canopies for the greenhouses, because greenhouse is a very good environment where you can do full canopies. And the solar canopy definitely reduces the water evaporation, and the LED lights enhance the photosynthesis. It's inclusive because we now supply energy to the community down there who get continuous supply even if there is a power cut. And it's green because we, as I said, we utilize our own energy to do all these, the power up all these things. So, and it's also dual use of land. We are not hampering the plant growth. We are trying to enhance the plant growth and the quality, but having said that, this is at a very early stage. We now keep on monitoring, so anybody is welcome to come and do research at this plant. I can organize it, because it's a unique plant in Sri Lanka and probably in South Asia. So it's something we managed to get it done. Recently we had a big workshop there. So let me conclude my presentation. The digital transformation, even though it is a must, it should be strategic and holistic. Going beyond the technology, we need to reshape services, systems, and value creation across sectors. So we need to be carefully plan and do it. Sustainability is an essential component, otherwise we are going to have enormous data centers that consumes energy beyond the scale that we can think of. And I'm introducing this new framework, the Smart, Inclusive and Green Energies framework, which offers the kind of balance of these three vectors. By doing that, we can manage to do our digitization in a sustainable manner. And I have given few local and global case studies to show you how that can be done through this SIG framework. And of course, collaboration and contextual innovations are key to achieve digital transformation. We cannot do it alone. I'm used to be a power engineer, but now, as I told you, I'm also running this AI center, because you cannot be one discipline specific to facilitate this digital transformation. With that, I keep.
Sir, please remain on stage. Thank you, sir, for the valuable session, sharing your own valuable research experiences, initiatives on frameworks and sustainability strategies with us.
Now I would like to invite Rear Admiral H.G. Udamika Kumara, Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kothalavala Defence University, to present the token of appreciation to our keynote speaker. Thank you, sir.
Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. To officially conclude the inaugural session, let me now invite the Symposium Chair of Vista 2025, Dr. Dinesha Pereira, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm always enlightened by the words attributed to Stephen Jeffs, made famous by scholars of diverse fields. I quote, "Innovation is the unrelenting drive to break the status quo and develop anew where few have dared to go," I unquote. Chief guest, Vice Chancellor Sir, Rear Admiral H.G. Udamika Kumara, keynote speaker, Professor Janaka Ekanayaka, special invitees, dignitaries, guests, paper presenters, and participants. In conclusion of the inauguration ceremony of the first undergraduate research symposium of FMSH Vista 2025, I would like to thank all dignitaries who accepted the invitation and is present with us on this momentous event of KDU FMSH. I wish to take this opportunity to express my profound appreciation for the exceptional guidance provided by our esteemed mentor, Rear Admiral H.G. Udamika Kumara, who serves as the Vice Chancellor of KDU, offering direct stewardship and inspiration. Additionally, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the keynote speaker, Professor Janaka Ekanayaka, for his enlightening discussion of the Vista 2025 aspects through his experience, who plays a pivotal role in advancing our commitment in establishing sustainable future objectives. I would also like to express my appreciation to the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defence and Administration, Brigadier Pradeep Ratnayaka, for his insightful guidance. Additionally, I extend my gratitude to Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Sanat Dhammika, for his unwavering support, which has been instrumental in enabling my team and the way forward. Furthermore, I wish to convey my heartfelt appreciation to the Dean, Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, Dr. Lakshika Lianagay, for her consistent motivation and guidance. I also recognize the heads of departments for their perseverance and support in addressing the complex issues of the symposium and in meticulous planning. I would also extend a special acknowledgement to the Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies and the Faculty of Defense and Strategic Studies, whose substantial support was invaluable to our efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to note that an event of this magnitude does not materialize spontaneously. The collaborative effort is essential, and I'm deeply grateful to the commitment of all committee chairs of VISTA 2025. Your dedication and attention to detail, along with hard work, were pivotal to the event's success. I also place on record the efforts of the paper reviewers and the students who submitted research papers for the VISTA 2025. I also extend my sentiments to the adjutant, CEO admin, and all key appointments of the university. Your individual contributions are not gone unnoticed. The significant contributions made by the Director IT and his team at the Center for Information Technology and Development Services facilitated the seamless execution of the event. I would also like to express my heartfelt appreciation to the Center for Media Studies, the compeers of the FMSH Compeers Circle, and all other presenters whose distinctive charm added value to this event. Additionally, I wish to acknowledge the Senior Assistant Registrar, FMSH, for her assistance throughout. I also place on record the support given by SO2 FGS, Training Support Officer, Media Officer, and Mess Manager. I say a big thank you for the support rendered by all whose names were not mentioned expressly, but have helped in numerous ways in academia, military, and all support staff. Finally, I wish to recognize my co-secretaries, Ms. Hansi Pereira, Mr. Watsunu Jayatilaka, and Ms. Bimali Munasinghe, for their unwavering support that was fostered through a tempered alliance of shared dedication. I extend my gratitude to all those who contributed in numerous ways, shared by principles of respect and responsibility. As I conclude my role of chair, VISTA 2025, I look forward to the next gathering of VISTA 2026 with great anticipation, as we today are at a gateway waiting to enter into many more years of VISTA. The researchers of FMSH will showcase their novel findings at VISTA 2025 today. Underpinned by standards of integrity and research ethics, let us reaffirm that the fact research is not just a theoretical concept, but a living and a breathing one. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look to this future at this culminating moment, I invite all of you to join hands in inculcating the seeds of research in management, social sciences, and humanities at KDU and leave an imprint in the journey of student research that will go from strength to strength. The legacy of the research we left behind and the new era of research we are entering will be one that young researchers will be proud to look back and reminisce, embracing vision for innovation in societal and theoretical advancements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, for your dedication in making this event a reality and a great success.
Moments like these deserve to be captured and cherished forever. We now invite the Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Dean FMSH, Conference Chair, Keynote Speaker, Plenary Chair, Plenary Speakers, and FMSH Academia for a group photograph to commemorate this special occasion.
While that one is going, we conclude our inaugural session. We now invite you all to enjoy some refreshments before we continue with the plenary and technical sessions.
Refreshments for all the dignitaries and invitees will be served in the lobby area, and the other participants, please proceed to the first floor for refreshments. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.